Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm starting a new reaction series to Kaguya-Sama Love is War. This is going to be taking over from Mob Psycho 100, which we finished up a couple weeks ago, and this is going to be basically the second slot on Thursday, right after Jujutsu Kaisen. And yeah, I think this is going to be fun. I feel like this is not any kind of show I've really watched here on the channel. I'm pretty sure this is rom-com territory. Now, I'm not a stranger to rom-coms, but I'm also not the most versed in them either. I've watched a couple anime rom-coms here and there, but yeah, this one I hear is just a ton of fun, and we are going to be watching the dub because I keep getting recommended videos. I stopped watching them a while ago when I decided to watch this show on the channel, but I kept getting recommended videos of how crazy the dub of this show is, so I really wanted to check it out. You know, it's an interesting thing when a dub gets recommended a lot, you know? So, for anyone who disagrees with that, because there probably will be people who disagree with that, it's totally fine. You can call me a whatever you want. I mean, I don't want you to be too rude, but I don't know. Call me a noob. Call me stupid for watching the dub and not the sub. But that's all right. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna be watching this. I'm going to hopefully have a good time. I don't really know too much about it other than there's a love triangle, square, trapezoid. I'm not sure, actually. I don't know how many people, how many girls are vying for, I'm pretty sure there's at least one main guy, but I don't know. But we got 3 seasons, and I think a movie as well, so we're going to watch through it, and we're going to have a good time, so excuse me. Because it is the first episode of the season, let me get back to what I was saying before I was coughing. Because it is the first episode of the season, you can watch my full unedited reaction to this episode for free. So normally, every episode that I react to, I also do a full unedited version, and I normally put that over on my Patreon page, but because it's the first episode of the season, I let people try it out for free, basically. So just head down in the description or into the pinned comment. There'll be a link there that'll take you to, well, it still takes you to my Patreon page, but this post specifically is free. And so you just have to click on it, and it's just my footage. I'm not giving you the full episode of Kaguya-Sama because that's completely illegal. But what you gotta do is sync up your copy to my footage. So I'm watching this here on Crunchyroll, and basically you hit play on my video. There'll be a count in 3, 2, 1. That's when you hit play on your version of the episode, and it should sync up pretty well. Margin of error. You can watch it, hopefully have a good time, and then you can come back for the discussion. However, if you don't want to do that, if you just want to watch the normal edited reaction that does contain footage, that's also in the description. I don't put any anime footage on YouTube because I feel like anyone knows that anime footage and YouTube does not mix. I mean, sure, people put up clips all the time, but especially with reactions, those don't go well with Japanese copyright holders. So yeah, there's another link there. It's the original link that says watch the reaction highlight here. You can click on that, and that gets you a normal reaction. It's edited, it's got footage, and it's all nice and good. And when you're done with either of those, I do highly encourage you to come back here to this YouTube video because we're going to have a discussion of the notes that I took for this episode. So I'm so curious how this is going to go because, again, I feel like this is going to be so different from any other show I've done on the channel, but I'm excited, and I hope you're excited too. So, why don't we just go ahead and jump right into Season 1, Episode 1 of Kaguya-Sama Love is War. Here we go. Well, I was just wrong. I was just wrong. Wow. I thought this was like a love triangle kind of thing. Like, you have to, it's war to be, the war is in, competing for the heart of the guy. Yeah, I was wrong. I was just wrong. I mean, technically you are competing for the heart of the guy, but you're competing with the guy, because it's like an emotional Mr. and Mrs. Smith, basically. And so we are 1 for 3 at this point. There have been 3 battles so far, and Kaguya won 1. I guess that means Shirogane, what was his name? I guess he won another. Alright, I gotta look up voice actors. Alright, Alexis Tipton is the voice of Kaguya. So she's the voice of Kid Trunks in Dragon Ball Super. Hatsume in My Hero Academia. And that's all I got. Great. That's all I recognize her from, unfortunately. Alright, Miyuki Shirogane. Okay, Shirogane. That's what I'm missing, is an A there. Shirogane. Alright. He is voiced by... interesting. He's voiced by Aaron Dismuke? And he's voiced by Clifford Chapin in Season 3. They changed his voice actor in Season 3? Well, that kind of sucks. He's the voice of Alphonse in the original Full Metal Alchemist. You gotta be specific. The original Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood. But that's cool. So, in Brotherhood, he plays the young Hohenheim. That's pretty cool. He plays Amajiki in My Hero Academia. Oh, okay. Hey, it gives a reason as to why he doesn't play Shirogane in Season 3. On break Season 3 due to vocal cord rest. Well, okay, well, hey, full credit. See, that's better than... I didn't watch if you didn't see, I didn't watch the dub of Mob Psycho 100 because I knew in the 3rd season they replaced the main voice actor for Mob because of a whole mess, basically. So I just didn't want to, deal with that. But here, hey, if it's for his own health, then yeah, by all means. That seems to be all I recognize for him. So, can I see... Alright, Chika Fujiwara. Alright. Voiced by Jad Saxton. That's a name. Well, she plays Kendo in My Hero Academia. And she plays George Glooman in Spy Family. Specifically in episode 19. She also plays Gundo in Tomo-chan is a Girl. Neat. See, every time I look at voice actors, I'm always like, man, there's just thousands of roles on here that I just don't know. Alright, now I gotta look up the narrator. Ian Sinclair is the narrator. I've heard that name, but what has he done? Alright, he's Shoji in My Hero Academia. Everyone has been in My Hero Academia, apparently. Oh, he's the voice of Whis in Dragon Ball Super. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. God, he does 10,000 different things. All right, that's where I'll cut it. I don't know how much else I'm going to be doing for the voice actors, but I tend to do that in the first episode. So, all right, now we can get on with the actual discussion. Yet, still, that was not what I had expected at all. That this was not about a love triangle or anything like that. This was specifically about the couple itself is who's going to be the first one, which it's an interesting thing because it's the whole thing, who has the power in the relationship, who's basically who's the dom and who's the sub, you know, who's submissive and who's the dominatrix or the dominator. I don't know. And that's an interesting idea for a rom-com, is just this psychological warfare between these two. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know? And I mean, I feel like just the immediate question is, do the two of them even really like each other, you know? But I mean, I'm not even sure how human they are, you know? Like, these two, I don't know. But at the same time, I'm also specifically watching a comedy, and I don't really react to comedies that much. Like, maybe the closest is Barry, and that's kind of a dramedy, you know? But with this, you know, it's a romantic comedy, so it's like, I don't know how much logic I can apply to this. I don't know. I'm in uncharted territory right now on the channel, you know? But, seriously, I was not expecting... I was not expecting that, you know? Oh, boy. So it's all about psychological warfare between these two great minds. And again, it's like, and I mean, just the fact that it's not just that they're, you know, super smart or anything. It's like they do set it up so perfectly where it's like, they aren't, I don't know, I don't think they're socially, like, all there. I don't know how to put it. Like, you know, Kaguya, who descends from this big business conglomerate in Japan, you know? And it's this giant business conglomerate. She was raised to be the perfect rich girl. It's like, so you have that, and she's, you know, she's super smart, and she's the vice president of the student council. The student council, which seems to consist of only 3 people, a president, a vice president, and a secretary. I don't know how the hell Fujiwara got this secretary job, but I'm glad she's here at least. So yeah, it's like you have that. Now I guess Shirogane is a bit different because, you know, they point out it's like, oh, he was a commoner and everything. But, you know, he's super smart. That's the reason he is where he is his brain, by repeatedly topping charts of, you know, test scores and everything. That's why he can be in such a prestigious position, you know? And so, yeah, so making the idea of it's psychological warfare between the two of them, because it only makes sense, you know, because, and especially too, because they are both in the student council, because you have the president and the vice president, and it's a boy and a girl, you know, it all sort of works out to be this perfect love story. So they're both taking advantage of that, of like, well, if that's what it's going to be, then I need to make sure I have the upper hand here, you know? I need to be sure I'm the one in control. But I mean, that is just the genuine question with this, is like, do they even really like each other? I mean, they seem to be friends to an extent. I don't know. You know, it's funny. I just recently, over Christmas, I watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and I feel like the dynamic between the main 3 characters of that is basically the same as the main 3 characters of this. Where it's like, you know, you have Puss and you have Kitty, and they're, you know, they're butting heads all the time. And then you have Perito, who's, you know, the sweet, innocent, lovable thing in the middle. And that's kind of what this is, where you have Kaguya and Shirogane, and they're constantly butting heads, always butting heads, and it's always in a psychological love warfare way. And then you have Fujiwara, the cute, innocent creature in the middle, you know? And I'm so glad that Fujiwara is there, because I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like otherwise I might, like, I don't know, because it's like, on the one hand, I don't want to take this seriously. On the other hand, though, like, I feel like I almost would, you know? It's like, and I'm going to take this, seriously enough. Otherwise, what's the point of being here? Like, I'm going to take this seriously enough, but at the same time, it's like, with all the stuff going on between Kaguya and Shirogane, it's like this whole thing, and we will, go into a lot of it. It's also nice to just sort of take a breath and just sort of, realize that none of this actually matters. I mean, it matters in the case of the plot, otherwise there's no show. But, like, at the same time, this is incredibly goofy, Like, Kaguya, like, she was about ready to kill Fujiwara, Or Chika, whatever you want to call her. Like, she was about ready to kill her. And it's just, like... And she's just none the wiser, She's none the wiser. She's literally just a little puppy dog. But I mean, I guess that sort of is like if Fujiwara is the little puppy dog, then Kaguya is a cat, Like that also perfectly describes, them and sort of their relationship with Shirogane. Oh boy. So yeah. So there was the whole thing of the movie, and there's something I just love how dramatic it is, I absolutely love how dramatic it is of, it's like, oh, you get the 2 movie tickets, and Shirogane's like, oh, well, I guess we could go to that, but then Fujiwara, makes things worse, like, oh, well, like that is, it's a movie where, couples go and they, get together and stuff, and Kaguya's like, so that could be his confession, Like, it's almost like you're trying to trick them into confessing, which is the dumbest thing ever, But it's just hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. But then, I love the whole thing of chaos theory, because that's exactly what Fujiwara is chaos. That she's like, or you can, have these tickets to this, dumb kids film or whatever it was. And so they're just like, wait, but that adds a new element. It's chaos now. And just both of their heads just start, smoking because they can't process how to do that. And so they both lost. Like, that was really funny, And then the letter. I'm not even sure how Kaguya lost that one. I guess because she was going too into it. Well, and I mean, and Shirogane, he started talking about, like, oh, I'll tell the principal and I'll get you expelled, I guess it was also Fujiwara where she's like, no, she's... Because she was expecting, like, oh, the only way I'm not going to do it is if I get a, teary-eyed confession. But the problem is, Shirogane didn't do that. Fujiwara did. So, because of that, she couldn't defy this poor crying girl. So, she had to abandon that plan. So, she lost that one. But then there was the lunch. And again, I'm not even sure how she won that one, Like, this is one where it's like, again, like, I will probably, like, I don't know, I really enjoy Fujiwara just being that, innocent, just not caught up. I mean, she technically is caught up, but she's unaware of the mind games going on, because it's like, I almost want to be like, let me be over here, it's like where I don't have to stress about this. But on the other hand, it's like, I'm really gonna have to put some thought into how these things work, which is weird. But also just like, again, like how do I initiate logic in this, I guess as much as Kaguya and Shirogane can, like, because they're trying to do this sort of logically, and it's weird, So, the reason... So, because Shirogane left, Kaguya won that battle. Which means we have one win... Okay, it said... Specifically, I guess we're going with one win for Kaguya, one loss for Kaguya, and a draw, I guess, for both of them. I don't know. Like, do I need to be keeping track of points? I don't know. Like, because it never said Shirogane won. It just said Kaguya lost. So, I don't know. But yeah, but there was the whole thing with the lunch. And I don't know. I'm not sure how she won that. I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep working at this, but I might need some help in comments of like, how did she win that? I'm not entirely sure. And then I like at the end, which I've seen that character, the blonde girl. I've seen like her in some clips somewhere, but I guess she's like the maid, Kaguya's maid or someone. So yeah, but I like, posing the question. It's like, but if you really love this person, would you not confess first? And she just sort of loses it. She's trying to like figure out the right answer. And I do like at the end, the narrator's like, oh, it's a very difficult question that she has to think of, with all these variables, and she just bursts out like the Looney Tunes, like Porky Pig, and she's like, well, just leave me alone. It's like, oh, okay. So that narrator's hilarious. So I don't know how much I'm gonna have to like really keep up with this war dynamic, but I enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun, and it was really funny. So yeah, this is weird. This is really weird. I don't know. I've never done a show like this, I feel like. Just a rom-com. And it's a show, too. It's not even just a movie. It's like, we're going to have to put a lot of thought, yet not thought into this, is what I feel like. I don't know. Let me know. Am I missing anything? I don't know. Am I prepared for this? I'm probably not. Oh, this is going to be something, ain't it? But that is basically it. We'll be back next week for episode 2. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Kaguya-Sama Love is War videos, even though there's only one right now, as well as another video on screen. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.